These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.
And welcome back. We are moving into our second segment for today. We're getting you ready for that Easter season.
Yes.
And while we went through the outfits, now is a very important task, right? You have to travel with kids. Now, you're going to be going on the road. You may be jumping on a boat. It may be 1-2 hours, or it may be 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that that can be a very, very stressful situation. So Jenny is here to give us some tips so you don't lose your mind, right?
It could be. Oh, good morning, Jenny. It's always nice to see you. We're loving the green Easter, right?
Yes,
Easter
colors.
It is indeed stressful too. But then again, it's a happy feeling, a happy moment while traveling with your family. Well, at least for me. Why?
For yourself.
It's because, and I think it should be sunken into to those who travel along with their family.
Yeah.
You're in one piece, and for a lot of folks, for a lot of us, when you've got your family, that's when you're at home. So for me, it is a happy thought.
But
Now,
the question is, do you pack them up and prepare them? Because maybe that's why he's not feeling the stress.
I know.
if I
that's where
travel
the
along with
stress
them,
comes,
because
yeah.
I travel along with them, I must pack them up. I must get them prepared. So that's the first thing there.
Okay.
Now, how do we get these? From me, before we leave the house, we of course all the clothing, all the necessities, and we know exactly where we're going. So we've got the accessories for those places. But then again, your pillow. Make sure that you've got some entertainment. Make sure we've got some songs and of course some good conversation to tag them along. And these are things that we carry on when we travel.
Do you talk about expectations? Like what I expect for your behavior to be like? Do we talk about what my expectations are, what your expectations are? Those are really important stuff.
And this is where we learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's start.
Yes.
First of all, I love your first tip, which is take a vacation.
Yeah. It's so important. There's so many people who avoid taking vacation. They save their days.
But I want that vacation money, Jenny.
Yeah, I know people. That's so crazy. Because, that leads to burnout. You know what burnout is, right? Burnout is when you have the stressors of work, because work is stressful, let's face it, right? And you're constantly there. And we'll go into it in here. But people who don't take vacations, they don't understand that they're going to become sick. They're going to get to a point where they hate their jobs, right? You have to take that time to have downtime. It's really critical. And I know lots of people. I worked with government, I've worked in private sector, I've worked with the military. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't want to take time off because they want to save those days to get the money for it. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. At some point, you're going to get sick.
And all that extra money that you saved up will have to take care of your health care.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
So we have here why you should take a vacation.
And I thought that was important to start off talking about why you need to take a vacation. One, when you're at work all the time, your creativity tends to become dampened.
Yeah.
When you take a vacation, you go out, and especially if you go to the water, any kind of water is so therapeutic.
Yes.
Watching it, smelling it, getting in it, it's so therapeutic. You come back to work and you have so much more creativity, the ideas flow. I really want to encourage people on the importance of taking vacations.
This is why
and it alleviates stress. When you're at work, and I mean, even these guys who see pretty things all day long,
you notice, huh?
they pick up stress,
Yeah.
and particularly when they're having to go out with the reporters and they see all the things that we see out there. I often worry about them, because they are being traumatized by a lot of the things that they're seeing. Right. Taking a vacation from all of this helps to alleviate stress. Stress can kill you, and that's the one thing I'm going to say about stress. That's real.
Sick
and tell me something. You're not just going to fall down with a stroke, Sometimes you get diabetes, you get all kinds of things that people aren't aware are stress related. Pay attention, folks. It prevents burnout on the job. Burnout is when the stress becomes so much and people just get fed up. They walk away from the job, they quit, they walk away, and they can't go back to it for a long time. I know I had burnout when I was working with HIV. I'm telling you, it's not pretty because you just never go back sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah, you become just so tired.
Then you become that employee in the job that eventually becomes the disturbed one.
Well, you know, if you're a cranky person, you're constantly moaning and complaining, you bring everybody else down. So when you find yourself beginning to get to that point, take a vacation, use some of those days and go somewhere.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for you to gain perspective. Because sometimes just being there, you know this thing about not seeing the forest for the trees? You are so surrounded by trees, you don't see the big picture. And the idea of taking a vacation helps you to gain perspective. It encourages quality time with your loved ones. I know people who don't want to take vacation because they don't want to have to spend time with
their significant other.
Home is work and work is home.
I'm serious, they do not want to take a vacation
That's a tough
with their
state.
family. That's really bad. But that is the point where you really need to take a vacation and rebuild relationships.
Yeah.
But you know, can I say one thing though? Because I think one of the things that I've found women are more comfortable with, it's taking a break from the family as well for some me time
Yeah,
or a
man.
girls trip, and that's okay. Like
Yes,
I can't
absolutely.
imagine being mom
24/7. No.
Sometimes you have to go back
Yes.
to just being you.
Yeah.
That's why you have grandma.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if grandma isn't around, I mean, responsibility of parenting is two-way. So yeah.
But sometimes, you know, like the girl trips. I am an advocate for girl trips.
Yeah.
Get your friends, because when you get in a relationship, you don't give up your friends. You know, you oughtn't give up all your friends.
Yeah.
You have that relationship with your spouse, but you need to keep your own friends also.
Yeah.
Because you're a whole person. You
Yeah.
don't just become this, you know,
Yeah.
this person.
That's right.
And those girl trips, those holidays away, and it could be like day trips.
It could
you
be
go
a day,
someplace,
yeah.
And just get away from the kids, get away from everything. You know what it's like to sit down all day and talk baby talk. I'm serious. I am serious. And women, and John, I'll say to you, you know, when your wife is home with the babies all day long and she's talking baby talk with them, you're at work and you're meeting all kinds of new people and all this stuff. When you come home, it's your turn. You take over so I can have some me time.
Of course.
Okay? I might just want to go and sit in the tub with some oils and bath salts.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very important. Women need to hear this. Provide something that you can anticipate. When you're going on a vacation, you know, if you're planning it, and I'm going to go to Costa Rica, there's an excursion, I'm going to Panama on an excursion. You anticipate. It's such a feeling when
Yeah.
you're
You have something to
looking
look forward to.
going to do something
Yeah.
different. So, and it provides opportunities to connect with the self. See, a lot of times we don't take time to just spend downtime with me.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of folks think that, well, I have to be with my husband 24/7. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to take some time for you.
Yeah. So we have next reasons people don't take
Don't
vacation.
take vacation.
So we've heard some, but
And again, I'm put at the top of that, money.
yeah.
Folks want that extra money,
Extra
and
money.
they think that they're giving up the time, the vacation time, to earn that extra money. Well, you're giving up you too.
Yeah.
Please remember that. Workaholism. We have these folks who are driven, type A personalities, who take on everything at work, and they want to become invaluable.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you, all you're gonna get is a paper wreath. So keep that in mind.
Well, it's like my mother always said, the day you die, somebody else will pick up the
Pick up
slack.
that, yep.
So,
Yep.
and it's the
not
same thing
worth
when
it.
you're on vacation and you take a break.
Yep. Yep.
That's the reality of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the reality.
Yeah.
A paper wreath.
A paper wreath.
Paper
Sounds
wreath.
like a country song.
Unused vacation time, they hold on to it. People try to build it up so when they're especially closer to retirement, instead of taking time while they're on the job and go take some me time and plan their retirement,
Yeah.
they work and save that time to get money. Again, we're back to the money.
Yeah.
They say vacations are too stressful. I don't want to be with my family and the children who are quarreling, and you know, so they don't want to take vacation. Well, you can take a mini vacation by yourself. Talk to your spouse. right?
Yeah.
Too much family time, that's
Yeah.
again. Perfectionism. You have these folks who feel like if they leave work, that work will fall apart.
Yeah, things won't happen the
and
way it's
things won't
supposed to.
happen. Yes, and they want things to be like, you know, hello. When you go, trust me, the office will function.
Yeah.
People will get and do what they're supposed to do, and you'll find out that, oh wow, I can take more of these.
Yeah.
Okay, you have these.
And also, what's your priority?
Yeah.
Is it your family who are your own commitment? You've started it, you've committed to a person, or is it your work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Jenny? It also takes a little bit of built up, especially for the mothers. Reason being is because as long as they leave those kids, the mindset, it actually you're not at peace. You're not resting. And for me, being a husband, and I'm so close to my family. When I leave, I'm not at peace as well. So even if I want to go and hang out with the boys, you know, there are things that are, you know, it gets to my mind and I'm thinking more family than boys. And so how do you work your mind around this so you could get your mind into vacation mode?
You need therapy.
And this happens a lot with a lot of people.
No, I don't
this
think
happens
so.
with a lot
I think
of people.
some people
Yes, it
are
does.
able to manage it. I think
Yes, there must be a starting point when it comes to that. Leaving your family, going on a vacation, your family is on your mind.
But you're not going to go take a 2-week vacation without your family, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a mini
A few days,
vacation.
yes, or a day,
where
a few,
you go,
a few hours.
Go to San Pedro, go to Key Cocker, you know, and just go have some downtime, take some books to read, and just go relax.
yeah.
When you come back, you appreciate them that much more. You really do. They're happy to have you out too, you know.
Yeah. Well,
You ever thought about that?
Remember, this is
Well,
not only
I
for me.
think-
There are a
I
lot of
think-
people suffering this.
I think that's where it comes with the misguided,
Misguided
beliefs.
beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and no, I mean, I think, yes, there are people who really are fearful of releasing that control, but there are some who recognize that they need it and perhaps feel too guilty to take it.
Yeah.
So it's both. Yeah.
So there we go. There is
The
a
guilt.
guilt
Yeah.
in there.
So,
Again, misguided beliefs. Because honestly, John, your family is not going to fall apart if you take some time for yourself. You're going to come back and you're going to be rejuvenated and you'll be that much better of a husband and father if you have taken care of self.
That much better for mother and wife.
Right. I talk to you because you're the one who brought it up, but I mean it for women and men, seriously.
but doesn't it go back to the fundamental belief that you have to have enough for you so that you can give others. You
others,
can't give
yeah.
from an empty cup.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And it's not selfish.
It's not. I keep beating
Yeah.
this idea into people's head. If you take care of self, your well is full, you have something to share with others.
Yeah.
But if you deplete your well, what are you going to share? What are you going to share? Right? So it's really important. I know you feel guilty, but you know what? Get over it. Take a couple days and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
We need it. I need to keep going.
We got a lot more. So the main point of the conversation, and I think we've covered why you should and some of the reasons that may be holding you back. Now you've decided, all right, I'm getting the kids together, we're jumping on a bus, we're going to across the border, we're going down south, we're going west, we're going on a boat, we're renting a house. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Plan.
But yeah.
Don't just jump on that bus. Don't buy that ticket for the excursion and go. Plan.
Okay.
What I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Plan.
Yeah.
And you see, a lot of times people don't want to plan.
Yeah.
And when you plan, include the children. This is one of those perfect occasions to have a family meeting and say to the kids, you know what, we have the money, we can take an excursion and go to Merida, or we could go down to Placencia. What one do you think you would prefer? And ask them, include them. If you get participation with the kids, trust me, they are going to enjoy it that much more. And we forget that just because they're little kids that they have feelings and they have ideas too.
Yeah.
So include the kids, okay? You start saving for your vacation, for your Easter vacation next year. You start saving when you come back.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to make sure you have a budget. Are you going to get a rental, get a house where the kids have, you have lots of room, or you're going
Where
into
you
a
can
hotel
cook.
room and you can save money. Yeah, right? So a rental is so much easier now with Airbnb and all these things. Let me tell you, man, the field is wide open.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right.
Extreme.
So budget for what your costs for the rental is going to be. You want to also budget for groceries, because if you have a rental, then you can cook. You don't have to go eat at restaurants every day, because that adds up.
Yeah.
Right.
That actually takes up the bulk of the money.
Right.
There. Because when you get there, you want to get something. I'm on vacation. I'll just eat something. So that's a good
Plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy your groceries, bring your groceries with you. Make sure that you include snacks for the children. And I'm talking about snacks that are on the road, because you do not want to have a meltdown because somebody's hungry or somebody's bored. Are we there yet?
But also a good tip that I find is buy your groceries and your snacks before your trip. Don't buy it along the way. When you reach a tourist destination, it's gonna cost way more.
Yes.
So even if you're going across the border, you want to buy it in a smaller town rather than the tourist destination itself, because it's going to cost way more than it should. So buy it if you're in Belize City, but before you head out to the actual spot.
Yeah.
San Pedro, for example, we know is a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if what you'd pay for a bag of chips here, you may pay
double or triple.
Yeah.
And prepare snack bags.
Yeah.
You put your snack bags that you'll have in the truck, in the car, in the bus, and you have a bag for each child, right? That has in chips and different things, gum. In case people get car sick, the gum helps, right? All those kinds of things. You want to make sure that you plan for alternate fun. So you're going to, in case it rains, and they have to be indoors. Hello, a bunch of kids indoors with nothing to do. Boy, that's a disaster. You plan ahead for that kind of thing. You board games.
Sneak on ladder.
Yes, you make sure you bring jump rope. You bring all kinds of things that kids can use. Right. Bring it all.
Entertainment as well.
Go back.
Yeah, entertainment.
Your entertainment, you want to make sure you plan what you go. So like, I know this weekend a lot of people are going to go see, next weekend they want to go see the movie Black Panther. So people are planning. You want to make sure you know what those are going to cost, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there are free things you can do. There are things on the beach. You can walk the malls. You can do all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Right. Eating out. You want to really be careful about eating out, because that can add up quickly, especially if it's a whole family.
Yeah.
Okay. And entertainment. Is it going to be? Are you going to go take in like the beach shows? Because during holidays they have all these free concerts that you can go sit on the beach and enjoy. Make sure you bring your beach blanket and all that kind of stuff, right?
And next up is the actual road trip. Are we there yet?
Oh man.
I mean, I feel that way sometimes too, but when the kids start saying it, it's a whole different story.
When they're all saying it.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot, especially
if you're going, for example, to Mexico. I mean, that's a long drive. And if it's a bus, it's longer.
Hey, we're going to PG, and that's for some folks it might be a long. So my daughter would say, "Daddy, how are we there? You don't pass that Riga." You know, so these questions do come up.
Plan ahead, set ground rules, because they will fight in the car. You're going to have squabbles, people screaming, people fighting for toys. So you need to
somebody wants to get out of the car seat.
Set ground rules. And take lots of breaks. When you have children in the car,
have to take a lot of breaks.
Lots of
bathroom breaks are the ones that would normally kill. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, but we need to use the bathroom. What happens? You've got girls.
You plan ahead.
Plan ahead.
Yeah.
You really and truly need to sit down with your map and look at where the spots are that you have bathrooms, and you can stop.
Yeah.
You know, plan. I can't overemphasize the importance of planning.
So that's an interesting one, because I think people don't always think of including the stops in their travel time.
Yeah. They want to get there.
Especially with kids.
Yes.
So while dad, for example, may just want to get there, because oftentimes they're the driver, they have to be on the same page that the kids will need time to stretch their legs, to get a bite, to use the bathroom along the way.
Just let them run around a little bit, just to
get out
that energy out.
Yeah.
The other thing, dads tend to want to overschedule things. They want to see all these things, and they have a plan, and they want to stick to it. And let me tell you, It doesn't work.
Not with kids.
It does not work. Do not overschedule, right? You have you can say, okay, I want to see that. I want to see the, that thing they have in Placencia while we're driving down to Toledo. So you plan that in there, but don't plan a whole lot of stuff. I'm telling you, it's.
So when you're talking about managing expectations, it's not just the kids here.
I'm talking about the adults in the car also.
Yeah, and some moms are like that too. It's not exclusive to that. Some moms really just have every single day.
Yeah, we want
because they feel like the kids are going to get the most out of the experience.
And they over-organize. It just drives me crazy. Have you ever gone on a vacation where it's like 2 families? Don't do it.
We'll meet there at the spot.
Large family trips are very difficult to organize. But it's fun when you're there, and I think it's worthwhile. But
it's fun once you reach.
I like the managing the expectations part. Like you
put
have to
everything on the table. If you don't do that, I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster. So you can actually go like big families, and everybody can go. You can even go in tandem, right? There's a big caravan. But you wanna. I don't know how you work it. Sometimes you put all the younger kids together with maybe the favorite auntie who can manage all of them, and all the younger kids go with the favorite auntie and the older kids, because the older kids and the younger kids are not going to get along. Okay, so you want to separate them as much as possible.
Everybody has to take the lick. And this is so important. Can I give a personal story? I remember once my nephew had just turned 2. Like he was like a month away maybe from turning 2. And he had his first tantrum the entire drive up north.
Wow.
We'd never seen it. It was literally his first temper tantrum at 2. Kicking and screaming and a full car. And we had to remind ourselves that he was a 2-year-old. In addition to not pulling out your hair, right?
And you have to expect that they are cranky, they're hot, they're tired, they're in this enclosed space. Expect it.
Their attention span is so minimal.
And that's when you stop and you take a break and you have them run around if possible, calm things back down. And again, developmental stages. You do not want to have that 2-year-old and a 5-year-old with your 13, 14-year-old. Separate the older kids if possible. Have those older kids go together with another auntie or uncle, and the little ones stay with the one who has the most tolerance for the little ones. Okay, and I'm telling you, who has the tolerance for the little ones?
Some who are blessed with it, So they will act up. But you know what I like? I like that you say one expected. And what we didn't do at that time, we didn't take a break. We could have stopped the car and maybe give him fresh air or whatnot. But that's a great idea as well. Kind of just take a break. Because some of us just think, let's just hurry get there so he can calm down.
And going back to the let's just get there is because we so want to get to that spot because we think only about us. So that strategy of stopping and getting them energy drained that's the perfect one. That's the perfect one. You hit the nail on the head there.
No, and you know what's really good? If you can get them out of the car and get them where they're running, get rid of that energy. They come right back down. Oh, and by the way, one more thing I didn't put up here. When you are planning your trip, try to plan your trip where you're leaving right about their nap time or when they're getting tired, so that they will sleep most of the way.
Not as they wake up in the morning.
You don't want to leave in the morning.
So resolve conflicts quickly.
And you want to minimize your conflict, your expectations. You remind them, because in the beginning, and I love to, okay, are we agreed? We're going to the store, you're not going to ask for anything, and if you do, you get nothing. We want to put our expectations, put mine out, and I want to hear what your expectations are also. Even though you're a little kid, I will give them the respect of asking them, what are your expectations?
One thing we didn't cover, because this was mostly car travel. Now, if I'm on a bus, I also have everybody else at my mercy. If I'm on a boat, there's very limited activity. I can't stop a boat.
Public transportation.
If I'm on a plane, I have very rigid restrictions as to what I
Yes.
can do with them.
Yeah. Yes.
Any advice for those particular situations where you are with the family, but you also have other people who are a part of the journey as well?
Girl, the best thing you can do is bring those little iPads, those little things with games on it, and you hand them out and
What they
let them
love.
play with those.
Yeah.
And you will have their attention taken for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And another good strategy, especially if you're traveling in a bus, what you do is that you point out the different animals to them, you point out different things, and so all the way they have the expectation that, you know what, I'm going to see something else soon. And I think that's a good way to their mind away from when are we going to get there. I think that's a great strategy as well.
And what I do, like if we're stuck on a bus, I'll tell them, okay, so who can find the entire ABC on the car license plate?
Woo, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yes. So they have, everybody's looking for A, everybody's looking for B.
B.
And
So keep them engaged.
Keep them
Yeah.
engaged, yes.
That's a good one, Jenny.
Yeah.
That's
From
a
A
good
to
one.
Z.
A to Z.
And rely, this is one time you use the technology because you can.
Yeah.
Download ahead of time
Yes,
because they won't
ma'am.
have internet the whole way, or you may not want to
Right.
use all your data.
Right.
And this
You
simply
download
spells
the
that
games.
it's not an overnight planning session that you should
No,
have.
you have to take
You
time
need to
and
take
sit
time out
together
to
and
plan the entire thing.
And the last part,
If you avoid, again, I repeat, avoid overscheduling. You don't want to have these kids doing too much, or your wife or
Yeah.
your husband.
but you know what I find? I find people have different definitions of what a vacation is to them. For some people, and that's where you see it in parents, some people it is the day one, this activity, day two, this activity, day three, dinner here, day four, and some are just like, well, let's see what I feel like doing today.
And that's me.
That's me too. And so, yeah, I think the conversation on expectations may help that.
It's really
Yeah.
important that you have those conversations because we want to try to compromise. So he wants to have his overschedule and I want to be like spontaneous.
Yeah.
So, okay, why don't we have a plan, but if we feel like doing something else, we can.
Yeah.
We're not locked into this schedule
This
right
one
here.
schedule, yeah.
Because it helps to alleviate some of the stress that you're going to be under. And the quarrels. No, we can go on vacation and have a really good time.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Yeah.
And also make sure you state your expectation. If you don't tell people what it is that you want out of the situation, you're not going to get it, and then you're going to be unhappy, and we come back and people are mad.
And it was a
Okay.
miserable trip.
I know.
Yeah.
Happy vacation.
Happy vacation.
So there you
Yeah.
go. And thank you so much, Jenny, because this is something perhaps we've never discussed before about how to be able to maneuver the situation and avoid as much conflict as possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
Thank
thank you. And of course, as Easter gets closer, we'll have even more tips. We'll have budget traveling. We'll have a ton Easter baskets. So please remember, we keep you as prepared as possible for the upcoming holiday. But thank you for this specific tip, and
Yeah.
we appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and take a break now. When we come back, it's for makeup tips, specifically how to contour. That's coming up after the break.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan, ability to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.